I don't see any of this stuff happening at my stores, but that's kind of cool.
And it comes with a really, really cool Generations box. I think that's my favorite part about this whole set.
I'm gonna get a case of these for her. Yeah,
a case of them.
That would bother me a lot if the price was really high. Color or lack of color. They look more like pistons or something like that. Like he's gonna break a door down.
The great prototypes, and I think you need to buy them now. I think you committed already.
No, definitely didn't commit.
What do you think about this?
Welcome back, BVC fans. As always, I'm Bobby the Bot.
And I'm James the Con.
And you know what it is, another round of news. But first, before we get into that, let's thank our sponsor, The Chosen Prime, which we have a surprise for you coming up this week. So really want to thank them. Anything that we talk about, you can always put your pre-order in or look them up for any figures that you might be looking for, Transformers-wise or other. We also want to give a special shout out to our members. We really hope you enjoyed the live show we just did. And welcome to our newest member, Titan Class, Jonathan Walker. Signed up 5 minutes before we went live, so really appreciate that. We had a lot of fun hanging out with you guys and look forward to doing it again. But we also want to thank and give special shout outs to our subscribers as well. You're the reason we keep this channel going, and thank you for joining us on this journey. So with that, if you're not a subscriber, definitely click that notification button, especially because we have some special news coming up. But if you're not a member, it's always time. You always have time to join that journey as well. So with that, anything I missed, James?
No, I think you're good. Just hit that notification bell and let's just get into it. So let's talk about some Tfcon news. So there's quite a few people that are coming in last minute. We've got Michael Charles Hill, which was a writer. We got Stan Bush, which is the can't think of the word, the musical artist that did a lot of the soundtrack, which is crazy. I think out of any of them, I'd want to meet him. And we've got Larry Houston, who is a storyboarder, which is also cool. You might be able to get some behind the scenes knowledge. But out of everybody that's going to this, I'd probably want to meet Stan Bush more than any of them.
Stan Bush is definitely on my list now, and I'm gonna see if I can find a CD or something.
I'm sure you could find the vinyl on Amazon right now.
Yeah, that's true, but I have to have a record player to play it on. So,
you know how many vinyls I have, and I don't have a record player? You put it on your wall for art.
I have so much art right now that I don't have any place to put art now. So
you should get it. But yeah, that's really cool. I'm sure we're going to be able to see there's a lot of people coming. They're pulling everybody out of the woodwork. So
it's so many people.
We'll see if there's any surprise guests that come out.
I need to make a list of who I'm going to target, and James, you're gonna have to stand in line for me so I don't have to stand in all these lines. Because
that is not how this works. That is the one reason why I don't get what's it called, signatures, besides the cost. So
yeah, this is gonna be crazy.
Yep, you're going to be in the back of the room. Well, why don't we move on to some leaks? Now, we have a very strange leak, just like we had last week with the Cheetor. So this figure has not been announced yet, but they already found the concept art Sunstreaker. But this time, it's not in a country like Colombia, which I know it's hard to get Transformers in South America. This was cited in New Jersey in a Walmart by Donald Vulcan on Facebook. What is going on with the Transformers distribution system? There's something weird with it.
I'm so surprised. It's like things are popping up left and right, whether it's an announcement or the figures in the store before the announcement. I don't see any of this stuff happening at my stores, but that's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, I think if I saw something that wasn't announced, like that Cheetor or this, even though I don't want them, I'd probably still pick it up. Just to have something before everybody else. This also reminds me of back in the day when you didn't know everything that was coming out. Maybe because you were a kid or the internet wasn't as popular, and you'd go to the store and there would be all these new toys, and you'd be like, "Wow!" and then you'd pick them up. I kind of miss that, honestly. I'm glad I can know what I'm looking for, but at the same time, that child nostalgia, I guess, would be pretty fun to have again.
Well, you mentioned before the internet was that big. How about there was no internet, and the only way you found out about a new toy is if you went to the store, or occasionally you'll see the commercial for the toy. So I do miss the commercials that we had with G1. That was really cool, and the little boy turning into Galvatron or something like that. But yeah, it was literally that special occasion where mom took me to Toys R Us or something that we talked about last week, and then you saw everything that was there. It was just like, oh, can I have this? And that's when I first learned what the meaning of no was.
Yeah, so we'll see if this even gets announced anytime soon. Maybe they'll cancel it out of sheer spite. Get into what's just announced. And I kind of front-loaded this because I think that's a little bit more fun. And I think you're going to be buying this.
Uh-oh.
But I guess time will tell. And that's the 5-pack has been revealed. Pre-orders are already live. It's $110. And it comes with a really, really cool Generations box. I think that's my favorite part about this whole set.
I had a feeling that you weren't going to like this set anyways, simply because it's all G1 cars. You know, you might have liked Hound.
Not even that. They're tuned cars. They're tuned Echoes.
And they're tuned.
I hate the painted windows. They're already clear. Just give it to me in clear plastic. I hate the painted windows. I think it makes it look like a dollar store toy when they do that. In my opinion, I understand why somebody would want it, but personally, they make it look a lot cheaper. And I hate that wheeljack. The Jazz I'm indifferent to, but something about the Jazz, it's very interesting that it's been leaked that we're getting a package refresh with Jazz, but he's also in this.
Great.
That something doesn't, maybe the leaks aren't 100% true. The Sunstreaker, at least, is all one yellow, but it still looks like an abomination, especially in the car mode with a big yellow line through the windshield. I cannot stand that, and I'm indifferent towards the Trailbreaker. I wasn't going to go through every single one, but you made me. Now, what do you think?
Well, I think we're kind of aligned there. I initially thought I might pick this setup, and then the Trailbreaker came out. I was just like, okay, that's one that I'm not really interested in. And then we saw the Wheeljack, and I said, okay, that's kind of two that I'm not really interested in. I was interested in the Hound. The Jazz, I'm indifferent about. And I was anxious to see the Sunstreaker because, as you just mentioned, it's all uniform in color with the yellow. But I hate that yellow line going across the front as well. And I'm actually out on this set.
Yeah, and I don't think I talked about the Hound. I think the Hound actually looks good. It's the best figure out of all these. But another thing to talk about is I think all of these molds are old. The Hound, you could say it's a new one, but it's a remold of Siege Hound. Like, there's no beating around the bush. And $110, I think it should be cheaper because these are all just reused molds. Maybe have it like $80 would be like a good group set. 110 is too much in my opinion, but these are also figures that I don't really like. If it was 3 random Beast Wars characters for 110, I'd probably say, yeah, I'm picking it up, even though I hate the price. So I understand.
Right. I broke it down to about $22 a piece, which I thought, honestly, a lot of Hasbro's new figures need to be at that price point. They
need to be less than that
instead of the higher price points that we're seeing out there. But I agree with you. These are older molds, so really you're just paying for the new paint on most of them. And it's similar to what we've said about the 2-pack Beast Wars that they've been releasing. The paint looks great, but we already have the figures, so I'm not going to dive into it again. I kind of feel this way with this set. I have the original molds that came out, and they're fine. I don't see spending another $100 plus to get these, and them really either stay in the box, or I don't know where I put them at.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But if I didn't have them, I would definitely grab this.
Yeah, let us know in the comments below if you guys are going to be picking this up. I don't think it looks bad, but it's not for me, definitely.
Yeah, if I didn't have them, I would have grabbed this. I jump on this really fast, actually.
Next, we've got the Image Comics. They are showing off the trade paperback, Volume 1. So this is issues 1 through 6. It'll be $16.99, released on May 8th, 2024. So that's actually like how I prefer to buy my comics, is in the trade paperback, not the individual comics, because they look nicer on a shelf. So I might pick this up. The price is right. It's pretty cheap for 6 comics. The art looks cool. So, you know, if I see this, I don't usually go to comic book stores, but if I see this in, like, I don't know, a bookstore or something, I might pick it up.
I definitely think you should. I was actually at the comic book store today, so I know I always give a shout out to Chris, but it's Urban Pop Comics Company, and talking with him, I did pick up G.I. Joe, or not G.I. Joe, Cobra Commander 2nd edition and the Duke 3rd edition, and I'm really liking this. And honestly, had I known this was coming out, which again, being ignorant to comic books, I probably would have picked this up as well, because it would look better on a shelf. But then I'm also like, where am I going to put it for a shelf? So the comics have been really, really good. I'm actually excited about it and waiting for the next issue to come out. So This is really cool.
Yeah, it is. And the comics are actually really good. So thank you for everybody that recommended we read them. I'm still reading them. I think Bobby's caught up.
Yes.
But let's move on to this, which is something that made me think of you. They have Drink and Play Transformers, Water Fruit, and then they come with these little figurines, which are repaints of Robots in Disguise figures. There's 10 of them to collect, and they've been sighted in California and Washington. So I guess this technically should have been released, but, you know, yeah.
I need to get these for my daughter.
That's what I thought. I mean, I can see why these would be really cool for a kid. It's like $3 or something like this. I think this would be amazing if I was a young kid. This would be cool.
I'm gonna get a case of these for her. Yeah,
a case of them.
Yeah, because I mean, well, she's playing sports now, and so she likes these little drink bottles like this as well. So she gets a little Transformer toy. She loves Transformers. Ironically, she loves Megatron, and. And so, yeah, anything Transformers now, she's like, can we watch Transformers? Can we play with the Transformers or something like that? So, yeah, I'm going to see if I can get a little case of these.
I'm sure you can if you look hard enough. But let's keep it going with Funbee Studios. They made a Spark accessory for Rhinox. Now, what do you think of this, Bobby?
I somewhat think I saw this in an episode. Don't remember exactly. It looks cool. I wouldn't, jump at getting this, but it's a cool little add-on. If I was, again, more of a Beast Wars lover like you, I would probably want to get this to recreate that scene.
Well, I don't recreate scenes, so I wouldn't be picking this up. But I think it's really cool. Sparks were always a big part of Transformers for me, because they introduced them in Beast Wars and so on and so forth, and it makes sense for them to have a central, soul component, that they're not just robots, So I think this is really cool. If they actually sold this as like a marble or something, I would probably pick it up, but I'm not 3D printing it.
Or you can just grab a marble.
I guess I could, yeah, as long as it's the right, colors and stuff. But yeah, I think this looks great.
Yeah.
We need more sparks. Spark crystals were my favorite thing when I was a kid. Those were so cool. They need to bring those back. But let's move on to this. I'm sure they already have your money with these guys. This is MPH Studios repaints of Optimus Prime. I'm assuming this is Toxitron. He looks yellow, but I
He
think
does.
it's the orange lighting.
He does look yellow and
They're calling him Tu Tiandu.
So I am not in on this so far. I did pick up the Optimus Prime MPH, and for whatever reason, I don't believe I loved it. I'll have to see again. I haven't picked it up since I put it on my shelf. I'll have to see again, but I do like these colors. But I have a Toxitron already, though.
You do, that's right. You have a Legends Toxitron.
I have a Legends Toxitron. As well. Yeah, that was my first Legends figure.
Yes, I think this looks good. I don't need it because I'm not actively collecting Legends, and I definitely I like Toxitron as the Laser Prime. I'm not a big fan of G1 Optimus Prime just repainted as Toxitron, personally. But it looks good. I won't be picking it up though. Yeah, I hope it's green though, not yellow. That's another thing. If it's yellow, it completely ruins it.
Yeah, it was interesting. I saw the color and I was just like, oh, huh. Maybe.
I was not thinking they would do Toxitron first. I was thinking Nemesis or Magnus.
Well, I did see a couple of other things, or I did see something else with this mold.
Yeah, you mean like this? So Here's the vehicle mode, and it looks fine. And they're also doing a Dead Prime, which is a very boring Prime deco, but they did a good job with it as well. Are you going to be picking this one up so you can have like a evolution, like a Pokemon evolution with the Dr. Wu, then this one, then the Generations one, and then an MP one, all in the gray scale?
Not at all. Didn't watch Pokemon, so that doesn't do anything. No reference there. Reference relatable there. I did get this one from Dr. Wu. I'm waiting on that, so I don't think I need another one.
Okay, well, I think you should do it. That way you can go watch Pokemon and learn about it.
No, I'm good.
Next, we've got Collection Space number 2, Little Red. What do you think about this?
I like the red. And I'm not going to pick this up.
Oh, really? I thought you'd be all in on this. You already got the other one.
That's why I'm not picking this one up.
I think the red looks better than the yellow. 100, especially with the blue, the contrast looks really nice. I hate the flesh face. I hate it. Give it to me in silver. Give it to me in blue. I don't care. And my third thing is, why don't they make Glyph, which is a female blue repaint of Bumblebee? I don't understand it. If that one comes out, I probably will pick up that one. But I am not going to be picking this one up. This also doesn't look like Cliff Jumper.
Not at all.
They should have remolded the head to have like a Cliff Jumper-like helmet. I think that's all they would really need to do since it's a complete departure from Bumblebee. Well, I guess the alt mode would still be a bug. So that would, it's just a what's it called? A shell. They could probably make it work.
Yeah, they could definitely put just another shell on it, which
I don't think they did. But yeah, so I won't be picking this up either. But if they make a Glyph with it in blue, I will be picking that one up.
And let me pull back my statement. I can't remember how much. I haven't looked at how much this would be. I can't remember how much the Bumblebee was.
I think it was like $80.
Yeah. If $80, I'm not doing it. $60, I might do it.
The power of $20.
The power of $20. I know. $54. I'll get it.
Power of $6. All right. Yeah. Well, let's get into some updates. And the first one I think is going to be a must buy for you.
Uh-oh.
And I'm being honest this time. I do not have a random Legends figure that looks like a samurai coming up next. And that's Roboson Megatron. So they said that he's going to be coming soon. And this shot, I know it's just the chest, but it looks really nice. It looks sculpted really, really well. So maybe we'll see it in 2 weeks. Time will tell. I kind of want it though, but I know I'm not going to be willing to spend that money.
Something that I'm worried about is that it may be Megatron, but it may not transform like that Bumblebee they had.
I didn't even think about that. I would be 100% out if it was like that.
So, and I think when we talked about it initially, I think we were just so enamored with having a Megatron. We talked about, would it turn into a gun, or would it turn into a tank, or, what would it turn into? And then I was just like, well, I forgot they made that Bumblebee that doesn't even transform at all. I did
too.
And that would bother me a lot if the price was really high. If it had the functionality like the Prime, like the Grimlock or whatever, and it didn't transform, but was a reasonable price that I could say, you know what, it's this price because it doesn't transform, then I could see potentially getting it. This would be that one-off where I'd buy something that doesn't transform, because I'm also then going to be looking for it to turn into a gun, and I have a feeling that's not going to turn into a gun. So that's the only thing with Megatron, if it's, again, G1 Megatron.
I think a tank would actually be really cool, though, if it turned into I understand it's supposed to turn into a gun, but from an RC point of view, a tank would be really cool. With what the things they could do with the turret spinning and making it shoot a laser or, whatever, and the explosion sound. That would be really cool. But I completely see what you're saying with it not transforming out. That didn't even cross my mind because I forgot about that Bumblebee. Mm-hmm. Probably because they couldn't secure the Volkswagen license.
Oh yeah,
just like this couldn't turn into a gun. I think you might be onto something, and I hate you for it.
That's my job. But with that being said, if they come out and they're like, $700-800 non-transforming, I'm out. If they say $300-400, I think I'd grab it.
I think you're gonna be out then, because I think that Bumblebee, which is probably smaller, was like
$699,
700, 600, somewhere around there. Honestly, if I was to have my perfect Robeson Megatron, it would be like 7 inches, 5 to 7 inches tall, and turn into a life-size gun. If I was to make a perfect one, I don't have the other Robeson, so I don't care about scale. But that'd probably honestly be very, very expensive with all the small pieces. But anyways, time will tell. Stay tuned. We'll update you from the con if they actually show it off.
Definitely.
Yes. If not, then we'll be right there alongside all the rest of you. Okay, let's get into something that I found interesting. We got Fanshobby's MB28 new Seeker, and this is the bot mode. So the swords are stored behind the wings, which I think is a fine compromise. I just wish we could take one wing off or fold it back or something, because I really like the one-winged look. Reminded me of Sephiroth.
I hated
the song's One-Winged Angel. Oh, see, I just thought it was unique. You know me, though. I like weird, unique things. This is the only plane Transformer that had one wing. And I liked that about it.
Absolutely hated it. I was just like, that's stupid. And
that's why I like it, because it's stupid.
At least you admit it, which is...
I like it. Yeah, exactly. So, but I think this looks good. I want to see more about it. I really like this glow-in-the-dark color that they're giving it. It's giving me, nighttime star vibes. So I would totally buy it in this color with a little bit of paint. If it glowed in the dark, that would be really cool. I know it's not. But it looks good. I have nothing to say. Here it is with the shoulder cannons extended, flipped around. I don't know what the right word would be for that. But they're out. All of that could be taken in the wrong context. And here we have his swords as well. He has 2 of them. So again, I like the variety. But something new is you could take the shoulder cannons off and give him like more traditional seeker guns, which I also enjoy. What do you think about this?
I like that option, though I wouldn't use that option because this is Armada. As much as I love G1 and things like that, I think
for all the repaints, though, it's really cool. So you can mix and match and have them all look a little different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that very true. But with that being said, I also don't like them attached to his forearm instead of his shoulder. So that's the other thing that throws me off. I'm like, is he, and then they don't, especially in this color or lack of color, they look more like pistons or something like that. Like he's gonna break a door down. Like he has Rumble or Frenzy's pistons and instead of cannon. So if I had this when I pick this up, because I'll probably grab it, I will not have it this way.
Yeah, I probably won't either. I don't think those guns have missiles in them. I think that's what they're missing. Because you know how Fanshobby has the actual fireable missiles in some of their Armada things? I think this is missing the missiles, and that's why they look a little weird. I will say one thing I don't like about it, because I try to be objective with all of my figures. I don't like all that kibble on his back. It just looks like the jet folded down.
It really does. The front just looks like.
I hope that I hope it folds away better or something, because I do not like that. But again, I forgot what it was. I think it was the Jetfire that didn't look amazing when it was in this mold, and then when we saw the final version of it, both of us liked it. We might not have loved it, like
the alt mode.
You like the alt mode? It looked good. Even the bot mode looked like it was supposed to. It looked good. So I think this is going to look good in the final version. But yeah, I don't think I have any Seekers out right now. So these will be my masterpiece Seekers.
I have too many Seekers out.
Oh wait, never mind. There's Acid Storm. I take that back. One.
Don't you have Swarm?
Slip Swarm? I won't even call that thing Slipstream. Yeah, that's back in its box already. So let's keep it moving. And you said you wanted these.
No, I said
you said those look like great alt modes. I can't wait to see more because I think I'm going to pick them up. So this is Unique Toys, Revenge of the Fallen, Skids and Mudflap, the great prototypes. And I think you need to buy them now. I think you committed already.
No, definitely didn't commit. I didn't put a pre-order in. I actually thought they were Skids. Like it was a Skids update. I didn't even think of it as a movie figure. So no, definitely not.
I tried to tell you, but you were like,
you did tell me. You did tell me. And then I was just like, yeah, now that you said it, no, I'm out. Because they were irritating in the movie, from what I remember.
Yeah, so here's some closer up pictures, and they do look really good.
The eyes
for
are
what
cool.
they're supposed to be. Not my type of, not my cup of Energon at all. I don't know if the eyes are going to be blue. That might just be like a prototype thing,
right? But
the detailing looks superb. I don't remember what this looked like in the movie.
Oh.
I can't tell you if this is 100% accurate, but to me, I mean, this looks really cool. If I was a movie collector that was okay with these figures, I would be picking it up. But definitely not my cup of Energon. I think you need them though. You have this Bumblebee to go with them, right?
No, I don't. No, not at all. No. The crazy thing is I do have one Bumblebee movie figure from the original movie, and I hated that. And I was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna do this again. And if I collected movie figures, I'd be all on these because I love the way the alt mode looks. And as you said, there's so much detail on these. They look great, even if they don't look like how they did in the movie. These look like good figures with that movie aesthetic. I just don't like that.
Yeah, I will say, if these were when they're an ice cream truck and they split in half and then turn into it, that was one of my favorite figures as a kid, just because it was fun. It was very complicated, and I like to fiddle with it and transform it. I guess I wasn't a kid. I guess I was a teenager. I would have bought that one, honestly, if they came out with the ice cream truck one, just because I liked the original toy and how kooky it was. Again, it's stupid and I like it. So should it surprise anybody?
Yeah.
But let's keep it going with this. I know you guys are getting a lot of comments actually said you are getting this along with Bobby. We've got Iron Factory's Skyhawk and Hellbat. And these photos are via the Chosen Prime. So what do you think of Skyhawk over here?
The color looks a little, and again, I could be completely wrong. I thought he was like a darker shade of red, and mine's
it looks the same like the TFC one that I'm looking at.
It does? Okay. And I haven't looked at that.
Maybe the TFC one is a little darker, but I think the plane has a lighting effect on it. I don't think it's that light, because if you look at the bot mode, it's darker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks a little bit too light, but that's my only complaint. Again, this is just the set that I'm waiting to complete. Hopefully they come out as fast as the first two did. I think it was like every once if I can talk here, one came out in January, one came out in February. If we can get one to come out in March and April and just keep it going, May and June.
It seems like it, because they already showed off their the Jaguar, I think that's what you call it, and Leozak. So, and those are already finished. They look finished. I mean, I don't know. So I think you're going to be getting those soon, and these are going to be the last two. But it looks good. The ball joints on the wings, though, I'm not a big fan of that.
I don't like that either.
Yeah.
I wish it was on the underside.
Or something, yeah.
Yeah.
And next we have Hellbat. So Hellbat is my favorite out of all of them. He always has been. I like that he's kind of like Starscream, but he's not. And he killed Death Cobra to actually be on the team and whatnot. But I don't remember this alt mode. Maybe because I'm not very used to the normal toy. Maybe this is what the G1 toy looked like. But I thought he was supposed to just be a normal jet. So this is a little weird, but it looks good regardless.
I'm with you on that. Until I picked up the TFC one, that was my first time handling a toy figure of this. I mean, there was the I don't even count it, the version in Combiner Wars or whatever it was.
Oh yeah, but that was just a repaint. Yeah. And then it had, who was the center bot?
Skylynx, was it?
It was Skylynx, but repainted, and it was supposed to be somebody else. I don't know. I didn't understand that.
Yeah. So the TFC was my first introduction into these figures, and then I watched the cartoon. Well, actually, I don't remember which one came first, but yeah, I think this is blue is one of my favorite colors, if not my favorite color. So I really like this. The jet does look a little. The wings look a little different than what I would think of a jet, but I don't know if this is toon accurate or what, or toy accurate. But it looks cool. It looks good, and I'm actually happy with the way the bot mode looks as well.
Yeah, I think no complaints from these. If they were larger, I'd definitely be picking them up. But I don't need another Leo Kaiser, just smaller. Even though the TFC one has issues, I still wouldn't pick it up.
Yeah.
So let's move on to something I know you're going to be picking up for sure. This is Cang Culture Scorponok. So they showed off the Headmaster, which I believe is Zarak.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big boy already. He's deluxe sized. What do you think of this?
Done. It's a wrap. It's going down. Yeah, I'm so in on this. I do not have a G1 Scorponok any longer. I did get the Titan class one, so this will be cool to have. And yeah, I'm so in on this. And we knew it was coming, and they hinted at it. We came out with Metroplex, and then it was surprising that they were coming out with Scorponok next, and then it was just like, oh, that's how you're going to get us, because they're going to come out with Scorponok, and then they'll probably come out with a Fort Max, and then a Trypticon. So you'll have all 4 of the city bots, and I'm here for it. Where I'm going to put it,
Yeah.
no.
I think I might be in on this too, but not as a legend Scorponok, because in the Marvel comics he wasn't huge, like city size, and that's how I always saw Scorponok. And I know it's because I'm jaded because of the Scorponok from Beast Wars, so I never have seen Scorponok as a Titan-sized figure. I know what it is. I'm not gonna lie. So having him at about 15 inches would probably be perfect, just to have a G1 styled Scorponok in my collection. So I think especially at the price of Metroplex, if he's the same 160-ish price, that's perfect. So I might pick this up depending on if the price stays the same and if it looks as good as that Metroplex.
Yeah, this is instant buy for me. Definitely, I'm here for it. I'm excited. I'm curious to see if they're going to do lights and stuff on this as well, and where they'll put those lights.
I'm totally good without lights. Put the cost down by $30.
No, it looked really good on the Metroplex.
It did look good, but I'd rather have a cheaper figure than lights. Yeah. But that's how it
Bring
goes.
all the lights.
Okay, now this next, let's move on to some incoming things. So I don't know if you picked this up or not, but that's the Lunar Prime. It's been released in Japan, so the US should get this soon. What do you think about this?
I do have a pre-order in for it. Initially, I was seeing prices that were ridiculous for this, and then I found it somewhere, and it wasn't that bad. So that was the biggest thing for me. I think it was like two something I was seeing, and then there was a version that came with the it was crazy. I think like there was a version that came with a stand that was cheaper than the version that didn't come with the stand, or something like that. And I was like, this is crazy. I don't get it. So after looking around a little bit, I did find it a little bit cheaper, because I don't love the figure. I just think it's cool, and I don't have, a moon vehicle in my collection. And so that's what made me really want this. And I'm okay at the price point I'm picking it up for.
Okay, yeah, I think it's like $80 or something like that, right? Somewhere around there. I hate that it's Optimus Prime. If this was literally a new character with a different head, I would have picked it up in a heartbeat. But I don't need Space Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime can already go to space. He could already drive around the moon. He's a robot. And I really don't like that it's just the same size as a Voyager? Yeah, I guess this is technically Leader Prime, but it's Voyager sized. I get it has, a little bit more articulation here and there, but I really don't like that it's the same size for a lot more. But I do like that the Matrix is molded into the windows. I think that's a really cool little aspect. But yeah, it's way too small, way too expensive for me to pick this up.
Yeah, the Toyota on there. Toyota is kind of cool on there, and
yeah,
it's different. I understand why they did Optimus Prime, which is kind of crazy because the only thing that makes Optimus Prime is the head.
Well, there's some detailing, like the waist. Even if you take off the paint, the two little things, and then the colors. Yeah, but it's the head, and the obviously the red and blue. But if they could have called it something else, made up a new character, and I probably would have picked this up just because of the uniqueness. But making it Optimus Prime is the opposite of uniqueness.
Yeah, I just, the colors are different, or it's not the bright blue or the deep red that I'm typically looking at. The fact that they put the Matrix in there makes it a little bit Prime-ish to me, and the head makes it Prime to me. They could have put a different head on there and did without the Matrix and called it, Bot versus Con, and I would be like, "Yep, that's a whole new character right there." And I would have, never really put two and two together. But I do agree.
And I would have bought it without hesitation.
Yeah, oh yeah, I would have bought it too. It would have been our mascot if it was.
Well, I mean, taking out the name.
Yeah, but I agree.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to get it. It's one of those things that are going to be a highlight of my not a highlight, but one of those things where it's just like, oh, I have that in my collection, and it wasn't that we see a lot of or have seen before.
Yeah. And if I had an Optimus collection like you do, I would probably be picking this up. Doesn't make sense. It's a unique Prime.
Yeah.
So I think you need to be picking this thing up. This is New Age H3G Harry. So this is obviously the limited edition Prowl in gold. You are the resident Legends collector, and you like your exclusive repaints. So go ahead and pick this up.
I don't like the exclusive repaint cost, and the gold.
It's only $125.99. That's nothing.
Cool, then you buy it.
No, I don't like it, but I know it fits right into your collection.
You can buy it for me.
Oh, no. I'm not that nice. I'm the con, remember?
I mean, yeah, so you can comply with buying me one. No, I don't know. I like some of the gold figures. I'm not the biggest Prowl fan, so I don't need a gold Legends Prowl.
Yeah, I think it's a very well done figure.
It's very well done.
What it is, but I don't like figures that are all one color. So
I love the bot mode. It looks great.
Yeah, I really like the yellow, clear windows.
Lights.
I haven't seen many gold figures with that before. It's usually just all gold, and that actually looks really, really unique and cool.
Yeah. I don't have the desire to build a gold collection.
No, you should. Let's keep it moving and get into what's recently released. And to go with the Sunstreaker we looked at, the Gamer Edition Sideswipe was found in box. And this is via JD1127 on Twitter, or X, whatever it's called nowadays. Yeah. So if you're looking for this, go pick it up.
Yeah, that's the same thing I say. Go if you're looking for it, go pick it up. I will be passing on it, but I will, if I see it, I will point people to where I see it at.
Yeah, exactly. Let's keep it going, and I think you need this. This is a fourth party KO of MP57. It's cheaper than that Legends Prowl. It's $124.99, and why not get a second one for your collection? You could have one in jet mode and one in bot mode, and then have Fans Toys standing over in the corner.
No, I'm good. I have three now. I do have the Fans Toys Phoenix. I do have the MP version of this, and then I bought that KO oversized of the Siege.
Oh, you did. That's right. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm good. I'm really good. I didn't like and I haven't checked. I'm assuming that this one has it. I didn't like the gap in the alt mode between the legs and the that jetpack part. I didn't really like the gap there, but it was a good figure. And actually, I thought about it, and I should have. It was actually a really good figure. I forgot it came out last year, and it probably would have been on my top 10 Hasbro figures if I thought about it.
Well, it couldn't have been that good if you didn't remember it.
There was so much going on. I forgot it came out. Problems.
All right. Well, maybe we'll do a show on the problems with collecting with Bobby, the bot, where he forgets the figures he buys because he buys too many of them. So let us know your thoughts below and how many figures you forgot last year that you forgot to put them in your top 5. And like this video, that always helps us, and do all that other YouTube stuff. Stay tuned. We have some very cool stuff coming up, and I can't believe it, Bobby. Tfcon's less than 2 weeks away, but we still haven't seen any exclusives, and I'm so mad. I want that Rosanna tape already.
Well, I think we'll be getting some insight on some exclusives pretty soon, possibly. And stay tuned for that. I'm hoping that next week we'll start seeing more of the exclusives. Yeah, I need to.
We should. It's usually about a week before.
It usually is. And Orlando, Orlando was like the week of. It was like really late.
What's it called? Mastermind Creations does one the day that we do our thing. Remember, the bumper came out, and then the last time they just did a random thing. The Joker. Remember?
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm still have my fingers crossed for Rosanna, but I know you want Ramhorn. Yeah. Do both of. Do you hear me? Do both of them. Okay. All right. I'm talking to you, MMC.
I'll pick up both.
I'll support him picking up 2 of each of them. So
support means he'll give me his half of it.
All right. Well, that's everything we have. So we will talk to you guys really soon. And until next time, have a good one.
As always, till all debates are won. Have a great one.